300,000 signatures. One question Canada never thought Alberta would seriously ask: stay or split? In the oil heartland, anger over Ottawa's grip is turning into a political movement. We're not like the rest of Canada, separatists say. But is this democratic frustration or the start of a constitutional fracture? A growing separatist movement in Alberta has moved a step closer to a possible independence referendum, reigniting debate over federal power, regional identity, and political divisions inside Canada. According to reporting by AFP, Alberta secessionists say they have submitted more than 300,000 signatures to provincial election authorities, well above the 178,000 required to trigger consideration of a referendum on independence. Secessionist leader Mitch Sylvestre announced the milestone while addressing supporters.
We look forward to your government receiving this clear expression of the democratic will of Albertans and advancing the next steps to include this important question on the referendum ballot on October 19th, 2027. Respectfully, Mitch Sylvestre. So the updated number now is 301,620, not counting our 1,500 more. So again, thank you very, very much, everybody. This day is historic in Alberta history. This is the first step to the next step, and away we go.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, Sylvestre said the petition campaign reflected deep public frustration within the province.
All right, so let me read you the letter that I have for Premier Smith. Dear Premier Smith, on behalf of the Stay Free Alberta campaign, I am pleased to advise you today that we delivered to Elections Alberta 301,450 signatures for the Alberta Independence Petition initiated under the Citizens Initiative Act, well surpassing the required threshold set by Elections Alberta. This process shows that Albertans are engaged, and this is an issue people want to have a say on.
The proposed referendum question would ask voters whether Alberta should cease to be a part of Canada to become an independent state. While Premier Smith has said she does not personally support separation, she has indicated the vote could move forward if the signature threshold is verified. The movement is being fueled by long-standing grievances in the oil-rich Western Province, where many residents believe Ottawa's environmental regulations and Liberal-led federal policies unfairly target Alberta's fossil fuel economy. Explaining that frustration, Sylvestre told AFP,
"We're not like the rest of Canada. We're 100% conservative. We're being ruled by Liberals who don't think like us. They're trying to shut down our industry."
But opposition to secession remains strong. Thomas Lukaszuk, a vocal Federalist, sharply criticised the movement.
It stands for something that most of us Albertans and Canadians don't stand for. It's a form of treason.
The referendum process now faces legal and political uncertainty. Indigenous First Nations groups have launched court challenges, arguing that Alberta's separation from Canada would violate treaty rights. Even if a referendum is eventually held and passes, Alberta's path to independence would likely trigger years of constitutional negotiations, legal disputes, and political confrontation with Ottawa. Trump administration officials have held secret meetings with a fringe group pushing for Alberta's independence from Canada, raising fresh tensions between Washington and Ottawa. According to the Financial Times, leaders of the Alberta Prosperity Project met U.S. State Department officials in Washington 3 times since April last year to discuss the roadmap for Alberta's independence. The separatist group is now seeking another meeting next month to request a $500 billion credit facility to help bankroll the province if an independence referendum passes. Jeff Ruth, The group's legal counsel, who attended the meetings, claimed that he has a much stronger relationship with the Trump administration than Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney.
The U.S. is extremely enthusiastic about a free and independent Alberta.
The U.S. State Department confirmed to the Financial Times that it regularly meets with civil society groups, but said no commitments had been made. A White House official added that no support had yet been conveyed for the Alberta cause. The meetings, however, coincide with deteriorating relations between Washington and Ottawa. Trump and Carney had a public falling out at Davos when Trump suggested that Canada was being very ungrateful to America, and Carney hit back, saying Canada didn't exist because of the United States. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent described Alberta last week as a natural partner for the U.S., telling right-wing podcaster Jack Posobiec that Albertans are very independent people, and rumours suggest they may hold a referendum on leaving Canada. Alberta, a province of 5 million people, is the single biggest source of foreign oil in the American market. The Separatist movement has roots stretching back more than 150 years to Canada's formation. The Alberta Prosperity Project is attempting to gather 177,000 signatures by May to bring an independence petition to the legislature. The group has declined to say how many signatures it has collected to date. New polling by Ipsos found that approximately 3 in 10 Alberta residents would vote for the province to separate from Canada. However, when faced with real-world consequences such as standard of living declines, pension losses, or trade renegotiations, only 15 to 16% maintained their support. The research identified 3 distinct groups among separatist supporters. Committed separatists, who would maintain support regardless of costs, made up 56%. Conditional supporters whose backing would waver depending on circumstances made up 25%. Symbolic separatists using the independence threat primarily to express frustration made up 19%. The Separatist Party has adopted themes similar to Britain's Brexit movement, accusing Ottawa of squandering billions of dollars in oil revenue while touting conspiracies around Chinese influence and what it calls the globalist agenda. Many have raised concerns about American interference in Canadian domestic affairs. Gil McGowan, president of the Alberta Federation of Labour, pointed to social media campaigns, online bots, and MAGA influencer voices as evidence.
We're seeing evidence of foreign interference. It doesn't feel organic. We are being targeted by the MAGA crowd.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, who last year lowered the threshold for a referendum, opposes independence for the province. A counter-petition called Alberta Forever Canada received 438,000 signatures by a December deadline last year. The Trump administration is unlikely to provide material support to the fringe movement, according to people familiar with the American position. However, the conversations underscore growing tensions between Washington and the federal government in Ottawa.